shooting now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm Tod A from Firewater. Let's see, my first guitar was stolen in college, and then I traded a leather jacket for the bass, and then that's how I became a bass player. I stole my first amplifier. Oh, it was an Ampeg SVT, but I was working at this club now defunct called The World in New York, and it was sweeping up 4 in the morning, and you know the guys were all cokeheads. They didn't pay me, so I saw this amplifier sitting in the closet gathering dust, and I decided to put it in garbage bags, and I took it out with the trash, and then didn't come into work the next day. So that's how I got my first amp. But that one kind of wound up being cursed.
Did it catch on fire?
I think yes, it caught on fire, you know, shortly thereafter on stage. So there was probably a reason it was sitting in the closet. Although I'm still a big fan of the SVT. It's kind of you know, they sound the best, but they're definitely heavy as hell, and you know, and a little temperamental.
Because I'm just a three-legged dog on the round, and everybody thinks that I'm a friend.
I decided on this record that there's so many better bass players that I know than myself, that I'd let somebody else do it. I wanted to, you know, it's a bit like walking and chewing gum. I've always felt like I had to think too much rather than concentrating on the singing. Guitar, I can just kind of strum chords without really thinking too much. Bass, the lines and trying to keep the groove solid, it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much like thinking, you know. It's not enough like just letting loose. So on some songs on this record, I don't play anything. Other songs, I'm just hitting, you know, simple chords. I just don't have to think as much, and I feel like I can, you know, think about the words a bit more and try and hit the notes. I have a genuine Givson, Givson, which I picked up in India, in Calcutta, for 60 bucks, and it's a genuine Givson.
Givson.
Yeah, it's like looks a bit like a Gibson.
I would imagine.
It's a semi-acoustic hollow body, and then I put a pickup in it, vintage pickup that I found somewhere. It sounds halfway between an acoustic. Am I allowed to drink on the street, by the way?
You're not.
Oh, okay. Since there's a cop over there, I think I'll put this back in my pocket. It sounds a bit like, sounds halfway between an acoustic and an electric, but since the last record was acoustic guitars through distortion, it seemed like it sort of fit the bill for this tour. Well, I didn't actually play any guitar. I played some banjo on this record, but that's about it. I'm just playing guitar live because there's nobody else to do it. I found a couple of mics that I guess are sort of more flattering than others, and generally tube mics are, you know, I wish I could tell you which ones, but the old, I think Neumann maybe, like the big, they look like a big lozenge. The U something. Those ones tend to be more flattering, like the more kind of old school. They capture, they kind of get the baritone a bit better. It's a bit more like, you know, I don't know, something Sinatra would use. Yeah, also I think we used 57 on some of the, we recorded pretty much live in the studio, and then some of the vocal takes were good. We wanted to try and get all of them, but usually I'd screw something up, so, but some of the ones we got on a 57, it sounded pretty good.